Welcome back to Visa Verge News, where we bring you the latest updates on immigration, policy, and how the two shape lives here in the U.S. Today we're exploring the arrest of Mahmoud Khalil, a Palestinian activist and former graduate student at Columbia University. His detention has sparked national debates around immigration enforcement and constitutional freedoms. Joining me, as always, is my colleague Nathan.
Thanks, Harper. What's happening with Mahmoud Khalil is nothing short of a flashpoint for so many critical issues. Free speech, student activism, and immigration policy all colliding. Let's start with the basic facts of the case.
Right, so Mahmoud Khalil, who is a lawful U.S. green card holder, was arrested on March 9, 2025, by federal immigration authorities. He was apprehended at his university-owned apartment near Columbia University in Manhattan, and later transferred to a detention facility in Louisiana. The arrest follows executive orders issued by Donald Trump aiming to counter antisemitism on university campuses.
That's correct. The administration has cited Khalil's involvement in pro-Palestinian demonstrations at Columbia as central to its reasoning. These protests, focusing on violence in Gaza, became nationally prominent and hotly debated on campus. According to Trump officials, some of these activities crossed over from free speech into what they classified as terrorism-related conduct.
It's worth pointing out that this claim has drawn significant criticism. Civil rights groups and Khalil's legal team argue his case doesn't meet federal thresholds for deportation. Regulations allow for such actions only in cases involving crimes of moral turpitude or ties to terrorism, neither of which seem clearly established here.
Exactly, and that's why Khalil's legal team filed a lawsuit contesting his detention. A federal judge in New York City has since issued a stay, meaning Khalil cannot be deported until the courts address the case fully. Judge Jesse Furman's decision to pause deportation puts this under further legal review, with a case conference set for March 13th.
Meanwhile, Khalil's attorney, Amy Greer, has pointed out the concerning lack of transparency. She stated that they couldn't even confirm Khalil's exact location after his transfer, a troubling issue for due process rights.
And that's part of what has fueled this backlash. Civil rights groups like the Council on American-Islamic Relations have slammed the arrest as a clear violation of the First Amendment. They argue that Khalil's role in peaceful demonstrations has been unfairly criminalized and that his detention goes against foundational democratic values.
The arrest has also sparked widespread protests. Outside a federal building in Manhattan and near Columbia's campus, hundreds turned up holding signs demanding Khalil's release. Groups like If Not Now, which promotes Jewish-Palestinian solidarity, have joined the protests, emphasizing the risk of misuse of immigration powers.
And it's not just grassroots organizations speaking out. Several elected officials and public figures have condemned the arrest. Representative Jerry Nadler called it chilling and McCarthy-esque, while New York Attorney General Letitia James criticized it as an abuse of executive authority. Even Jewish groups like J Street and Zioness voiced concerns about how this could set dangerous precedents.
That's right. Critics argue this could open the door for federal agencies to use immigration enforcement as a way to suppress political dissent, especially among foreign students or green card holders like Khalil. Donald Trump's statement that Khalil's arrest is just the first of many to come adds to those fears. What message does that send to students and activists?
It's a valid concern, especially as universities often serve as hubs for debate and dissent. Columbia, in particular, has found itself at the center of this controversy. We can't overlook the Trump administration's decision to freeze $400 million in federal funds for the university, claiming it mishandled protests and anti-Semitism on campus.
A decision like that certainly complicates this story further. And it raises pressing questions about how far federal oversight should extend in regulating campus political activities. Should participation in protests impact someone's immigration status? These are questions that could have lasting impacts.
Absolutely. For non-citizens, the stakes feel especially high now. Many are worried this case could set a legal precedent affecting how immigration laws are applied to foreign nationals involved in activism. Khalil's case has become a litmus test for balancing constitutional freedoms with national security.
As legal proceedings move forward, all eyes are on the court's next steps. If the judiciary rules in Khalil's favor, it could reaffirm protections for lawful residents engaging in protest. On the other hand, if his detention is upheld, it may embolden federal authorities to take stricter actions moving forward.
Either outcome will have wide-reaching implications, not just for Mahmoud Khalil, but for how the U.S. navigates the crossroads of immigration enforcement and free speech. It's an issue we'll continue to follow closely.
For now, that's where we leave this complex and deeply significant story. Thank you for listening to Visa Verge News. Stay tuned as we unravel more immigration debates shaping our communities.
And don't forget, visit us at visaverge.com for more updates on cases like this and other immigration news. Until next time.